and we're using everything that we've got available to us. I mean, there's no stone that we've left unturned in this case. And the fact that there's no information, and somebody asked me the other day, well, you've got all this technology available, why don't you know something? Well, if you've got a lone perpetrator or two people that are doing this on their own and they choose not to speak, they don't leave any evidence, it makes it much more difficult for us. We do believe that it is somebody local. We do not believe that this is a random act. But other than that, we're just, it's very, very frustrating.
Given the fact that everyone has drawn the other comparison to the fact that this community is so small, and you have left no stone unturned, does that heighten your frustration level?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's. I don't know if frustrated is the right word, because it seems like we get roadblock after roadblock, and I'm not talking about from people, but we think we're on to something, then all of a sudden it doesn't pan out to be what we thought it might be. And this happened, I can't tell you how many times in the case. But it hasn't stopped us from persevering on it. But yeah, I mean, when you've got a crime that's as heinous as this one is, and we've got so many people that are out there trying to get the person that did this, and we can't do it, yeah, there's a certain level of, I guess, maybe the word is frustration.
John, you mentioned before that she was seen on some other type of camera surveillance after, after that gas station video. Can you say where that location was and where that fits in this timeline?
I'm not going to say where it was, but we know where she was going when that photo. We have a photograph from another video source, and we know where she was going. Yes, it was a private video source, and we know where she was going.
Where does that fit in this timeline as far as
that would fit in between the 6 o'clock at the residence in Cortland and the 6:10, when she got to Batesville.
So this was in Cortland that she was seen?
Yes.
Okay. Can you say, you mentioned that she was placed at the scene where she was found at 7:31. Was it that someone drove past and saw her car? Was it that someone texted her, knew that she was there?
All I can say is that we're using, the technology has helped us tremendously as far as that's concerned.
Have you determined if Jessica drove that car to that scene?
No, we haven't 100% determined that. We feel like that probably happened, but, obviously until we know 100% what happened, it would be pure speculation at this point. I mean, nothing is ruled out. Nothing is eliminated at this point, whether she drove it there herself or whether somebody was with her. Just don't know at this point.
We mentioned that surveillance video at the store, and that seems to kind of be the center of where we've at least publicly talked about this investigation. Have you guys been able to talk to who she was seen conversing with on that video?
Everybody that we have identified, everybody in the video, and everybody has been talked to, yes.
John, since nothing is being ruled out as far as criminal activity is concerned, separate apart from the crime itself, is there a parallel investigation into criminal activity that the perpetrators may have been involved with at that location or involving her? Or is she involved? Do you all have reason to believe that perhaps she may have been mixed up in any kind of criminal activity to lure her to that site?
I can't say that for sure. I mean, obviously, we know where she was and what she was doing, so the answer to that question at this point would be no. But once again, I'm not ruling anything out, obviously. But at this point, we just don't believe that up until the 6:31 time, the 7:31 time frame, when you've got that hour gap, we just simply don't know what was happening.
John, do you have a core of suspects you're still looking at? Maybe people you've already interviewed? Is there a certain number in there?
I mean, I would say that everybody is still a suspect at this point, simply because the only persons that we have positively and I've had publicly cleared was Ali at the store, and it's simply we cleared him because of the video footage in the store that shows where he was when this happened.
And we have a very specific timeline, an hour. That was more than 2 months ago. Do you feel like that, I mean, the whole point of doing this is to help generate tips, but is that likely going back a specific hour, asking people now?
This case is so obviously unusual for this area. I would like to think that that everybody remembers it. Everybody remembers what they were doing, where they were. It may not be the case, but I would certainly think that anybody that would have seen her in the area within this time frame would remember it. Somebody asked me the question, I don't remember who it was, do you consider this case to be cold? And I certainly do not, because we're still getting information, as we're still getting, utilizing the technology that we got available to us, and still getting information in from that. We go out and follow up on things we may have learned from that.
I know you mentioned some details in that timeline. One thing I don't think I heard you say anything about was a party, and we had talked before as to whether there was any thing to that. Did you have any information that she did go to some type of gathering?
We have no information at this point in time that she was at a party. I mean, I know there's speculation on the street, and I've had several of y'all asked me that question, but at this point, there's no evidence to point that she was at a party.
So it sounds like from where y'all know she was at, you've cleared that, and it's this hour that you don't know. That's what this hinges on.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten leads in on where she might have been during the course of the day, and every one of those have been followed up on. What I've given you is the best information that we have based on the technology and the witness statements that we have, and we feel very confident in this timeline of where she was. The problem is the 1 hour gap that we cannot put her in a particular spot yet. Not to say that we won't be able to do it, but at this point we can't put her in a particular spot, and we're asking for anybody that may have seen her between 6:30 and 7:30 to contact the Sheriff's Department or Crime Stoppers or whoever you choose to call, but to please let us know.